What's up, guys? Octotar here, and today I am going to be walking you through the process of getting Bazzite on your device. So, this is a unique situation. For me at least, because I am running this on a 2017 4K iMac. So some things will be quite different than if, for example, I was on a Windows device. But if you are one of the few people to be actually downloading something like Bazzite onto a 2017 iMac that actually needs a guide like this, I'm your person. So, what you're going to do first, so if you have watched my previous video on how to flash a Linux distribution onto a external drive like this one, for example, you should already have that done. If you have not done that, please watch that video. It is long and rambly like this one, but it'll be worth it. Especially if you really only need that, or if you like per video content like this. So, what you're going to do first is, first and foremost, you should actually have the drive still plugged in. So I'm gonna plug mine in right now. I should definitely have done that before starting the recording. I am not editing this out because I want to show you the non-professional side of guides. So, what you're going to do after you've plugged in the device, if you haven't already, is turn off your computer. So you can either press the power button, which I don't recommend, or press the Windows button if you're using a Windows keyboard, or either Command or Option, whatever brings up the Windows or Linux terminal if you're on KDE, or I think you can also power off by clicking a part of the top screen if you're on something like GNOME or Mac OS. Don't entirely remember, so don't quote me on that. So, shut down your device, and then once mine shuts down, I will go on to more like tell you the keyboard command, because sewing is a bit tricky due to my arm, but yeah, this is still shutting down. It's taking a while. My device, if you're familiar with stock 2017 4K iMac, it's quite slow. So you may want to. Okay, there we go. Now it's starting to close everything and shut things down. Oh, what's it saying? Oh, yes. I was doing something on another page, redeeming Steam free packages, so it just asked me if you want to leave the page. If it asks you if you want to leave any pages, just say yes, or just end whatever task you are doing real quick and then power down. Once it is powered off, though, it's still going, still powering down. Don't worry, I will not be showing you the entirety of the thing downloading unless it gives an error. Then if it gives an error, I'll show you how to fix it error, but you should be fine. Yes, you should be fine. So, okay, froze my mouse, which means it's definitely shutting. Okay, there we go. There is the shutdown screen. Okay, and now I heard the noise that it usually makes, and now my keyboard and mouse are both off. So, I'm gonna put my phone down again. You are going, if you're on a Windows keyboard and you're on a iMac like me, you are going to power it on and hold down Windows Alt R. That will go Windows Alt Shift R, actually, because that will put you in internet recovery mode for macOS. If you're on Windows, depending on your device, you may have to power it up, change the boot order, and then boot from the USB. That's quite complicated, and when I do install a new operating system, I will show that side. But this is on a Mac, so I'm going to show the Mac side. Power it on. Just press the button. For anyone who couldn't hear, I don't think you could. So it's powering on slowly but surely. Okay. Whoa. Okay, there we go. Now, it's starting internet recovery mode. May take a while, and that's okay. Oh, I just realized I can pause this. Whoops. I will be right back. Okay, I am back, and the recovery is up. So, by the way, this may work for really any Apple device that does not have a security chip. So like old iMacs, maybe old, maybe old MacBooks, but I am not certain. which devices specifically this will work best for. If you have a device that has a security tip, which I don't remember how to access, you will have to disable it in order to get the installer on. So, select disk utility. Select continue. And then once you're on disk utility, it'll show you internal, external, and disk images. So if you're doing external, you really should not have to worry about this unless you have another drive. Unless you have an operating system on the drive, but even then, the process may be a little different, and may not require this. Entering recovery mode. So, select internal. Mine is at 1 terabyte version. There's it's using up all of the stuff, all of the storage space, because Bazzite's installed and it's using all the free space. The 1.07 gigabytes, I believe, it might be the, oh my goodness, what's it called? The EFS partition for launching or booting. So, select erase, and then it'll ask you if you want to erase it and give you some options. It'll ask for the name, the format, and the scheme. Format and scheme, I think you can leave default. That's how I did it, and it worked fine. If it did not work fine, you may have to find a different format that works. So I'm actually going to name this main. Click erase, and now it's erasing. That's formatting. And now it's erased. So, click done to continue. And now you can close out a disk utility. And now go to the top left where the Apple logo is, click on it, which I'm about to do. Now, I'm pretty much doing this one-handed, so I apologize for the scuff. Select Restart. And while restarting, hold down the Alt key. Or whatever key your device uses for your whatever this screen is called. So should this be, if you don't have If you don't have an operating system, which I do not because I literally just erased it, select EFI boot, which is your drive, which has Linux. So now the grub menu is here. So you can install Bazzite or test this media and install Bazzite Deck 41 or Bazzite whatever version 41. You can't actually test it, so it doesn't matter, so just press enter. Once it loads, I just wanted to quickly mention, it's going to take a while depending on your system, but it's going to show all this code. Don't worry about it. It's doing its job. If it's staying on the code screen for a while, that means there's an issue. You should probably take a look at the bottom. If trying to boot it from a micro SD card, that's more than likely to happen, I believe. So just a fair warning from that. What's it? Oh, okay, it's just checking. Files. Oh, okay. I don't know what that means. Anyway, micro SD code, likely no work. Okay, so what you need to do now, after all that's been loaded, is select your language for the installation process. So if you're a non-English speaker, select any of the below. And I believe to the right of so on the left, I believe is display language, and on the right is a keyboard language. So if, let's say you have a Japanese keyboard, you would select Japanese from the list. Oh, no, it's just a different, okay, never mind. So left is English and other languages, and if it has an arrow, well, when you select it, it'll turn to the right, where it'll show you the different kinds of English that you can select from. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now. I was wondering why that list was so small. Okay, select continue, and then it will bring you to this screen. There is an error message on the bottom. Let's read it. Please complete items marked with this icon, which is a warning icon, before continuing to the next step. So, localization, keyboard English US, language support English United States, time and date, America's New York time zone, which is calculated automatically based on your system's time. For the system section, installation destination, or network and network and host name. Yeah, installation destination and network and host name. I am connected via Ethernet, which will be required later. I forgot. Oh my goodness, I forgot to mention that earlier. Whoops. So installation destination. Let's click on that. Now, you can select the drive. For me, it will be the ATA Apple HDD, because that is the internal one. The D drive mobile USB-C is external. So let's select that. The ATA Apple HD, not the D drive. And then select done. But it'll pop up installation options, your current Bazzite DEC software selection, or Bazzite whatever version it is, software selection requires 11.42 gigabytes of available space, including 11.41 gigabytes for software and 0 bytes for swap space. The disks you've selected have the following amounts of free space: 128.1 megabytes free space available for use, 0 bytes free space unavailable but reclaimable from existing partitions. You don't have enough space available to install Bazzite DEC, or whatever version of Bazzite it is. You can shrink or remove existing partitions via a guided reclaim space tool, or you can adjust your partitions on your own in the custom partitioning interface. Let's click on the reclaim space button. Now this is where you can break everything and cause you to completely restart the process. For reclaiming disk space, do not select delete on EFI. If you delete EFI, the installation will fail. And trust me, you do not want to restart, because I have had to restart many times before figuring out the issue. So, delete everything else except for EFI. So for me, is main. Delete everything else except for the EFI and the entire drive. Then select reclaim space. Do not select delete all, because that will select everything. So just double checking. Yep, looks good. Reclaim space. And now later on it'll reclaim everything. And then to the right of that, select user. So it's just a list. Enter your full name or whatever you wish to give, whatever name you wish to give it. Then right under that, give it your username. And then keep the checkboxes checked. And enter a password. Once that's done, select done. And then on the bottom right, select begin installation. And now, in the next video, I will either show you how to fix an error, or I will see you in the setup interface. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.